Hi guys, welcome back to Insta Jamm. This is another one of our studio Insta Jamm episodes, and today we're going to be looking at microphones. Now, there's lots and lots and lots of different types of microphones on the market. They all come in different shapes and sizes. So today we're going to be demystifying 4 main categories of microphones, the differences between them and when you'd want to use them. So we're going to be looking at dynamic microphones, small diaphragm condensers, large diaphragm condensers, and ribbon microphones. So let's jump right in with the first one, dynamic microphones. So first up we have a SM57, which is made by Shure. It's a classic dynamic microphone. Now, you'll most commonly find these being used on guitar amps, snare drums, sometimes for vocals. So they're very good for loud sources. They have a very robust construction, so they last a long time, they're very hard wearing, and in terms of frequency response, they're very even across the board. So they can be used for quite a lot of applications. The one place you might not want to use them is for a very quiet signal source. So something like an acoustic guitar or something else quiet is probably not your best choice, but they're very, very versatile microphones. Next up, we have an example of a small diaphragm condenser microphone. Now, a condenser microphone requires phantom power to make it work. So that little 48 volt button on a mixing desk, that's what you press to use one of these microphones. It provides power to the diaphragm and allows you to add gain to record your source. Now, these are much more delicate microphones, so you wouldn't want to put it in front of a very loud source. However, you'll most commonly find them being used on something like an acoustic guitar, maybe a piano, and sometimes vocals depending on the model. This is a Rode NT5 here. So they have a very even frequency response as well, and with it being a condenser, the high end is actually quite pronounced usually. Sometimes they're not the best to pick up low end, so if your signal source has got a lot of low end, it's probably not the best choice. But again, quite a versatile microphone. Next up, we have a large diaphragm condenser microphone. Now you can see this is a lot larger than the last one. The diaphragm is much bigger. These also require 48 volts of phantom power, and they also can be quite delicate as well, so you don't want to be going dropping it or bashing it or anything like that because you might break it. This model is a Rode NT2A, and it's actually very special in the fact that you can change the pickup pattern of the microphone from cardioid to omni and even figure of 8, so it's a very, very versatile microphone. It sounds great. It has a very balanced frequency response as well. It's very good for recording things with a lot of low end, so say something like a double bass. And it's also very common to use a large diaphragm condenser for vocals because you can get very close to it and you get a really detailed sound. Last up, we have the most unusual type of microphone that we've got here as examples, which is a ribbon microphone. Now, instead of a diaphragm inside, it actually picks up the sound through the ribbon inside, so these are extremely delicate microphones. You don't want to be putting this in front of a very loud source because you could seriously damage it. You might think at first that this would require phantom power, but you also don't need that with a ribbon microphone because that again could damage the microphone. What you do need is a preamp with lots of gain because typically they can be very, very quiet. These are very detailed sounding microphones. They're good for a lot of different applications and they're generally considered to have a very warm sound. So you might find them on guitar amps and acoustic guitars and sometimes vocals. So what we're going to do now is line all these microphones up and let's hear the difference between them. We'll just do some dialogue through the microphone and hopefully you can hear the difference in sound between the 4 microphones. Test, test, microphone 1, dynamic microphone. Test, test, microphone 2, small diaphragm condenser. Test, test, microphone 3, large diaphragm condenser. Test, test, microphone 4, ribbon microphone. Hope that information was useful to you. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've got any ideas for future Insta Jamm videos, please let us know and we'll see you next time.